Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Burning Crowns. I'm your GM and host person, Eric. Welcome, welcome. How are we all doing today, family?
Excellent.
Just perfectly fine, thank you.
Got the character generator open.
Excellent. Perfect. Okay, so this was like episode 26 or so, I think, of the game. We left at a cliffhanger, so we might be picking up that. But before we do that, we need to review, because we're playing a game called Burning Wheel, we have to review all of our characters' beliefs and everything like that, because they get changed between each game. So let's go around the table and say what we have written on our character sheets today. Let's start with Mason.
Very well. Hi, everyone. I'm Daniel, playing the role of Mason. I'm looking at the following beliefs. For a worthy ruler to sit on the dragon scale throne, I must discover the secret of the vanishing. To learn more about Cole and the death of his kin, I will uncover the secrets of Landon Orlovsky. And this is, of course, prompted by last session and a couple of sessions before that, where we found out that, or Mason found out, that the king's line were secretly dragons. And now that I have covered one of the people, one of the conspirators in this mess, and his secrets, I am moving on to the next. So there's that. Second belief, there is yet enough fire in the hearts of men to steer a course over dark seas. The gods have seen my play and have taken the raven from me. I will honor his courage by following his instructions and obtain that which even the gods fear. And finally, I have my third belief. As the last member of the Nethesian I stand responsible where they can no longer. The influence of the underworld ensnare the Sertovas. I will see them freed.
Okay.
That's all she wrote.
Perfect. Sulius.
Yes. So my first belief has not changed. Only the strong wall shelters humanity from the storm. This colony represents a chance for Swan to unite humanity. Thus, it must succeed. I shall ensure that our colonists include skilled and faithful professionals to help build our holy empire. Belief 2. Though she is no longer my cousin, I cannot turn my back on Natala. I will do anything in my power to help Mason and Swan in what is to come. Belief 3. Either she has... It seems clear to me that Mason is hiding something when it comes to the storm looming on the horizon. Either she has information she is not telling me or a hidden agenda at play. I must learn what it is before it becomes dangerous. And then last but not least, at the dawn of time, Abadar laid forth the holy codex of laws and traditions that would govern the heavenly kingdoms for all eternity. We must follow the great reformers who glimpsed the edges of the lawmakers' holy order to perfect our wanting civilization. Swan cannot die here. If it comes to it, my life for his. And for those of you who were talking in chat earlier, the reason that I don't have beliefs about following a rat is because I don't want to spend a whole session trying to earn persona for following a rat.
Look, okay, I'm just saying you're missing out. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. Marquis Dave Ronald Swan.
Yes, hello. I made some slight changes. I don't know if I moved my new instinct over, but based on my new temporary understanding with Mason, I have re-edited my first instinct to say, always draw a steady sword at sorcery, which I'm sure is going to be great. Anytime Mason does anything, I'm going to be whipping it out. You're like, what's going on? Is that fire? Is that fire somewhere? The only belief I have that changed is the whispers in my dreams and the nightmares of my waking hours tell me one thing. An order of anti-mages must be formed to stop the abuses of power by Mason and worse. The sorcerer Boba is too long in this world, and I will see Boba unfettered of his life.
Perfect.
It's still Bobo.
And then the rest of yours are the same.
Boba.
Can you recite them for us, my good friend?
It is time to begin the machine of industry that will guide our new country. I'll create a business that will fund the area, consisting of a logistics company to move goods and their guardians. This colonization effort will not fail for lack of funding or supply. Sulius and the church must be brought around to the idea of a theologic governance, the responsibility of the priesthood to administer a country according to the ideals of Abadar.
If it matters, Zidomir also has some belief changes.
It does matter.
It does matter.
A
So
lot.
Zidomir's first belief is now, I have failed my duty to the strong wall. I will do anything I can to redeem myself. Second belief stays the same about Aurelius and Swan. And third belief becomes, I fear I was horribly wrong about Mason. I will keep a close eye on her and any other sorcerers we encounter, as Marquis Swan ordered.
Fantastic.
Cool.
The boy's learning.
So you have a new instinct, learn everything I can about sorcery?
I mean, I've got one that's spend my downtime training my martial prowess, so I think we might change that one for next session. We'll see though. We can.
That's not fair to him, though.
No, not at all.
It's basically a waste of an instinct slot because there's basically nothing that you can gain from it.
Pretty much.
All right. So we start today where we left last week, which was Conrad Swan drawing a sword and attacking Bobo.
I mean, point blank from behind when he's not
Didn't
looking
you have to
and
go
distracted.
into the room first?
Yeah, but he was described as being like working on the queen, and I said I'm walking up behind him, and at the last second, drawing my sword and stabbing him.
Is anyone with you?
Yes.
Mason is in the bathroom.
I'm following you. I'm not staying in the bathroom.
All right.
Is Zidomir there?
No.
Hopefully. No. All right. Well,
Zidomir's
It's just
with
me and
you.
Swan. Swan and I and Bobo.
oh yeah, he was with me.
All right. So in order to do this, you have to, this is a regular sword test. However, the guy does have turn aside the blade on him. So you're looking at, I just rolled what he did for spells. So you're looking at an incoming attack at +2 obstacle as well.
Are
I only
you
have
running
two
this
dice.
as a fight, a versus,
No.
a bloody versus, or a fight?
Versus.
Cool.
If this is a strict,
Sorry.
if this is a strict versus test, can we decide how long it's going to take Aurelius and Zidomir to get there?
I don't think that's within the scope of this.
Okay.
I feel like this is just like, do you
I just
get the
meant,
drop?
like,
This is the question of, do you get the drop and kill him or not? I feel like is what we established. Do you want to make sure that's what we agree on?
Yeah,
Specifically,
that's exactly what I want to do.
Right?
I mean, I
if
can't.
that's what it should,
This
is,
could
it
turn
shouldn't be a
into
sword test.
Yeah,
I can't make.
I
this
think
roll.
it should be, because should this fail, I think this could turn into a fight or turn into something. That's what
Yeah, but so if you're trying to, in my opinion, now you run this as you want to. In my opinion, if what you're trying to determine is, do we go into into a fight at all, or into a versus fight at all, then the deciding factor should be, does he get the drop on him, which has nothing to do with sword and everything to do with being inconspicuous or being stealthy.
Unless the guy's just distracted inherently, but that's Eric's decision to make.
Yeah, but that's what I would suggest, because how does sword matter at all for getting the drop on someone? It doesn't.
Yeah, it does. It matters by whether or not he's dead and can retaliate.
That's that's stabbing someone. The task there is kill.
Well,
But getting the drop on is but that's my opinion.
The question is if there's any difficulty in getting the drop on him. If he's just like casting a spell and is inherently distracted, then it would just be a sword test to see if he runs.
Well, I don't think this
right?
is a speed test. I think this is the way we're doing it with sword.
All right, cool.
All right. So,
Moving on.
Do I get any bonus die for him being distracted and looking the wrong way?
no.
Do I get any bonus die from Mason?
No.
Do I get any bonus die for carefully taking my time to stab him in the back of the neck?
That's not what you're doing, is it?
That's true. All right. I'm just lobbying for whatever extra die I can get because I only have 2 dice and I have an op 3.
That's completely
Right.
fair.
Persona.
Literally impossible. All right.
What's the failure consequence?
I mean, I think the failure consequence is we get in a fight, but don't let me tell you what's going to happen.
Failure consequences. He is able to avoid you, and will proceed to cast a spell.
All right, let's do this.
So op 3.
I don't suppose he's a peasant.
No.
Is he a lord?
No.
I don't think so. We're in a court, but
He's
I don't think this has
I mean,
anything to do
I don't know
with
where an
court-wise.
academic fits into that scheme. I just assume he's not. That's probably like
I mean,
at the level of
academic is
merchant.
I mean,
Right.
student
He's a-
is its
he's a-
own thing.
He's a
I know.
Chelish. He's a Chelish sorcerer, right? Where he's from, he enjoys a certain amount of privilege.
Exactly.
If only I
exactly.
had foreigner-wise to know how foreigners fight. If only I had privileged-wise. Actually, privileged-wise would be really good for this campaign.
Pretty good wise.
Probably
I'm
not
able to
that's a
call
really-
it for anything. Talking
Yeah,
to
it is.
Mason, privilege-wise. Talking to
But it's
Cilius,
probably not a
privilege-wise.
thing you could fork in a fight.
The privileged fighting style. Well, actually,
I see
after every thrust, he goes, "Well, actually."
I see you're shit kicker style peasant, and I raise you.
Yeah. All right. Make it so.
Can I fork haggling for haggling with
No.
the GM? No modifier, ob 3. I mean, it's obviously going to come up as a fail. Unless there's 2 6s. There's not. All right, fails. Blake gets turned
All right.
aside.
But so, you thrust at him, and it's almost like at hitting a magnetic field, where like a repulsory field, where you thrust and your sword bends around him, like with that that pressure of the field as it skirts by his head, and he goes, "Huh."
I immediately yell, sorcery!
What in the world are you doing? You
I'm trying.
crazy person.
I'm trying to attract the attention of the guards who were standing outside the room.
Well, that's not what this was about.
No, but now I'm yelling that given the fact that sorcery is happening.
Yeah.
Right. I'm yelling that now to draw more combatants into the room. Make shit real hard for this dude.
No, I think it's obvious what's going to happen is as a consequence of the failure, the guards come in, and I think Bobo.
Oh wait, there's an additional consequence on top of
No.
what was already listed.
No, he cast a spell. But I think when you say you yell sorcerer when this happens, I feel like this is the next thing that fictionally happens. Is that the guards come in and they are immediately persuaded that you are the sorcerer.
Sweet.
Doesn't he have to cast a spell?
Or
So I
make a
guess-
roll at all.
Well,
what is happening?
that is.
What is
I'm describing what's going on fictionally, and now I'm going to make the roll, fellas. Relax.
Just sweet. So I
Okay.
guess what's going to happen now is that we failed this, or I say we, but we failed to assassinate him.
Yeah.
So now it goes into a versus or a bloody versus.
I said the consequence of the failure is that he's going to cast a spell on
yeah,
him.
isn't that
And-
what that's it?
And this is exactly what's happening right now. But just with the added bonus of you calling that out, that just makes sense that this is the spell he's going to cast, right?
Sure.
Sweet,
So-
let's do it.
That's why. So okay, so
Ah,
let me
so
go ahead
he
and cast
can
Persuade on
cast
these dudes.
Persuade on-
So these are ob 3, and Persuade's not that difficult of a spell because I think the obstacle is their will. So I think it is an ob 3. I just want to make sure that's true. Yep, that's easy. Okay. Oh, that's a problem though. The problem is that persuasion's only a single target though, and not more than one person.
Persuade Swan.
Yeah, I mean that would make the more sense. That would make the most sense actually.
Mhm.
That's what I would do if I was an evil sorcerer.
All right. Let's do this.
Yeah, I think he's going to persuade you, Swan. He's going to persuade you to defend him and the queen from these two guards.
All right. Well, I have a roll of 5.
Yeah, so
I also want to call upon my instinct about sorcery and having a sword. Do I get to stab him again? I mean, it's right there. It's in my instinct.
Well, let's see what happens if the spell fails. So we'll see. So
The spell
all
failed.
right. Listen, I need you, Eric. I need you right now to roll like Wise Fool. I need you to roll like Sam.
look, this whole entire day, Roll20 has been against me. I spilled coffee on myself right before we started streaming today. The day is against me. I'm probably going to roll 0 successes. You have nothing to worry about.
Well, honestly, it's maybe more dangerous if you roll 0 successes.
Yeah. Let's
just happened?
pray you succeed.
Okay. Hold on. Number. Oh, I put the title of sorcery as the number of dice. That's my day.
Alrighty.
Nope, that's real bad though.
It is. So, 1d6.
Why D6?
Because if he rolls 1, it's a unwanted summoning. 2, it's a garble transmit. Oh shit.
Hi guys, I'm Professor Mason here to teach you about something. Like this is the anime where it's just like, here's the first break.
This fucking game.
No.
My
It's
dice
a Full Metal
today.
Alchemist voiceover. It's like the alchemy.
All right,
The
I wasn't
science of
prepared for
alchemy.
this.
Roll. Now that you have rolled a 1 and he's unwanted summoning, roll 2d6.
Yeah,
watch it be the perpetual itch.
If it's 12, it's a chief deity.
If it's 2, it's a deity. So roll any.
4.
Oh, thank God.
Sanctified dead.
Yeah. He conjures up a spirit, and not like a revenant, but like the spirit of someone who was peacefully put to rest and now like appears.
What the?
What the fuck? Okay.
Occasionally, a sorcerer can tax themselves and draw upon an unwanted summoning.
Well, how cool would this be if it's our fucking chosen of Rovagug?
Oh no!
Was he peacefully put to rest, though?
He was buried
Mason
under a
buried
tree.
him.
I feel like that, and then performed the rites.
Mason buried him and performed rites.
I would assume he was peacefully buried.
It's true.
Well, the good
Okay,
news
so
is
I just summoned a spirit.
All right.
Okay.
So now
no one
the-
is charmed. There are 3 guards, I think. Here
No,
to help
yeah.
us.
Tax.
Yes.
Don't forget tax.
So the situation is Natala being unconscious, Swan and I being there and presently unaffected. Guards about to enter the room, and now the spirit of the Raven is here. Though we may not be able to see him, that's your forte there, Eric. You can decide if we can or not. But generally
No.
speaking, he can be invisible.
No, but you see him. Not shriek, but you see his eyes go wide and be like, "That's not good," and he backs up, and I guess
Does
he has
he
to make a
pass
fort
out?
test, right?
Yeah, does
Yeah.
he pass out from an OB 5 fort test?
Well, that's a really very likely. And why does my roll 20? I have to restart roll 20. 1 second. I have to refresh it. All of my entry fields have 30 spaces in them for no reason.
That's weird.
Yep. Okay. So, yeah, his fort's not 5. But we'll see.
Well, I have a lot of sympathy for this guy.
Oh, I got a fate.
Oh, he's
Nope.
He loses 1 then, so loses 1 fort.
All right. So the situation then, what happens now? How do we resolve this thing? Is this because this can either be hyper complicated or really simple depending on our preference.
I
Yeah.
feel like my boys should join me in murdering the shit out of this guy.
All right. Well, I feel like with the
What are
failed
you
fort-
doing, though, Mason? You haven't acted yet.
Yeah, I haven't. I was berating you for fucking trying to murder this guy.
Well,
because
I mean, you failed to convince me.
It's true.
And
It's
I
true.
went with my original intent.
yes. So it depends on what situation is occurring, right?
Are you about to Pokeball the Raven?
Yeah. If Bobo is gonna be like, I will slay all of you. Good night. Then I'm gonna join in Team Swan.
Didn't he literally just order me to try to murder everybody in the room?
No, he failed to cast Persuasion on you, which was to defend himself and Natala. Which
Yeah,
means
but
seems
everybody in the
appropriate.
room is going to be trying to kill him.
I mean, I'm not, unless I need
hold on.
to.
Is he unconscious? He's not unconscious, is he?
No.
He loses 1 die of fort.
Just loses 1 die of fort. That's fine.
So
So he's
I think
taxed.
My main worry is the spirit of the Raven. It is what Bobo is going to do, and it's Natala waking up.
So one, you don't know about the spirit of the Raven, right? There's no.
I can see spirits.
Only if you activate second sight.
Yeah, only if you activate it. So no. So until that happens, you don't know that the Raven's here. Number 2, the Raven mentions that it's not this. You don't know what you're doing. I'm here. I'm helping.
You mean Boba?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Bobo mentions that you don't know what you're doing. I'm helping. If you kill me, she's gone.
All right. Here's what I'm gonna do then. Before we start turning this into a fight, I would like to have a quick look again at Natala and be like, remembering the symbol, remembering whatever I know about summoning and about demons and the nether things. I want to determine the thing that is in her. Is that thing? What kind of summoning has brought it here? Is it a legit devil who's inside her and who could jump out and be like, "What's up, bitches? Time to burn this fucker down"? Or is this the result of they have struck a deal and now she's temporarily possessed? I would like to establish that.
Sure.
I think that's aura reading, probably.
I think that's demonology.
Oh, that could be.
That's interesting. Because I know what's going on, and I think technically speaking, okay, I have the answer. All right, yeah, make demonology. Demonology, depending on this spell, is going to be a little tricky because the obstacle.
To determine the type of summoning is op 3.
3? Yeah, see, my gut was saying 3. So 3.
All right, let's do this. Do I get a... Can I take advantage for having literally observed her with spirit sight and not just being like, oh, there's a little brand behind your ear, but being like, no, I have actually fucking stared at her essence?
No.
Ah, damn it. Okay, let's do this. Swing! Okay, so I fail. But that is a routine test, so I will start learning demonology.
Yeah. Good idea. Okay, so what is the consequences of failure for that?
I should have asked you that. I'm sorry.
Yes. So what does it look like when you do demonology on somebody? How long does that take?
I'm just. I think I'm consulting my brain box, and right now I'm being very hurried about it. Right, I'm being like, this is what I've seen so far. This is what I know. Compile it all. What am I looking at? That is like me making like a snap-second decision on: is this world-shatteringly awful, or is this awful but we can manage?
Okay. Well, I think the consequence of failure is that you are unable to read that.
Shit. In that case, I guess we will assume the worst.
You're looking at the Matrix code and you have no idea what it says.
Sweet.
So
fight with me, Mason. Trust in Swan's instincts.
That it depends. Like I will step back from this and be like, what is going to happen now?
Trust me. You need me to help her, is what he was saying. So you're torn between that, Mason. The guards are like, what the fuck?
Okay, well that's interesting.
Trust in Abadar. Sulius will come.
Okay, fine. Here's what I'll do.
Trust in the gods, Mason. Trust in the gods.
Is this development that has happened here sufficient enough of a change in the situation for me to be allowed another shot at persuading Swan to let this lie? Because I will want to just diffuse the situation entirely.
Nope, I'm not stopping until he's dead.
All right. In that case, I think that's what I will try to do and summarily fail at, is to be like, everyone just calm down. Like, don't start anything in here. You could literally blow the whole thing up in our face.
All right.
I think it's like not a shouting. It's like a very hard whisper because I don't want to wake Natala. So it's like, stop what you're doing, you fucking...
Swan would love to convince the guards to come help him kill this foreign sorcerer that's trying to murder the queen.
Is there anything I can do to influence getting there?
I feel like you're a ways away, right? Like
you're a ways. Yeah, unfortunately, my dude, you're a ways away. And because this is happening in pretty fast succession, if there was an opportunity for you guys to do like say a ceasefire or something like that, then I could imagine that's possible. But given the circumstances, I don't think so.
Look,
Listen,
Bobo.
if you want to try to petition me about why you would be there.
I
now?
have no good reason. 'Cause
Right.
all of those are very good points.
Yeah.
Bobo, just
Yes.
I know this looks bad. Surrender for now. We will sort this out. You can help us undo whatever has been done here.
Ha! 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 In the background, SWAT just attacking the windshield again.
And I would like to persuade him to do that. If that is within my purview of options. Be like, why don't you lay down your arms and chill your shit out? And we will all do that, and then we will rectify the situation.
That doesn't seem like what Swan's doing.
No, it doesn't. But
I don't know.
Yeah.
So there's a specific rule that says, like, if someone's swinging a sword, you cannot persuade them to not hit you, right? Like,
Yeah.
once the swords start swinging, persuasion is no longer helpful.
Yeah. In this case, though, we're at a bit of an okay situation because, right, like we let it ride. Swan cannot kill this guy now, right? Like he's just bang.
Yeah, but
bang,
I'm about to change the situation by getting the guards to come help me.
Yep.
Yeah, but like, is that significant?
Yeah, it's gonna give me a shit ton of dice.
Yeah. It would give you helper dice.
It's gonna be 4 guys standing around. I'm like chop, 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 chop.
3.
Right, but there's me.
Yeah, you and 2 others.
I thought there were 3 guards.
No, they were
there's
flanking
2
the door,
guards.
right?
All right. Well, then we'll stand in a triangle around him. Okay.
Yes.
Bang, bang.
You know how it is. You just have to overpower the shield by forcing him to put all his energy towards one direction while we attack from the other.
That's exactly how it works.
That is what I'm doing. Then I'm calling
Works
on
for
everyone
Injustice
who may be persuaded to chill your shit and stop doing hostile shit. Right, and that just happens to not work on Swan, as he's being like, "Aha, on God, shield of magic that I can't pierce." But you know that'll eventually grow harmless on its own.
So maybe a versus test between you and Swan.
That sounds fun.
If I win,
They
get
will
the
help
guards
you.
to come help me.
Yeah, and if I win, then everyone except you will try to chill out.
Is that something?
Wow. Okay. Yeah, let's do it versus persuasion.
Is
Right.
it persuasion or oratory?
I think probably
Persuasion.
All
I
right.
think it's persuasion.
Very well.
Oratory is a group of 3 or more,
Oh, okay.
I feel.
Reasonable.
I don't feel like I'm forking anything. I just felt like I was saying that, and that's how I want it to be. So
I definitely want to fork command.
sounds about right.
Cool.
Right, swing.
I don't know if I said anything beyond let's murder this guy.
We must kill the sorcerer.
Yeah, I know. Like in general, I haven't done anything that would give forks, so I guess here it goes. What am I looking at? An op 2?
Yeah, so you're looking at, strictly speaking, I would think we're looking at a. If you meet up 2, then we're tied, and we'll find out who's
Okay.
doing what. Oh shit!
Wow,
Okay, so
that is
we're
a
tied.
horrible roll.
Yeah, it's been horrible rolls all
All
day,
right.
buddy, for everybody.
So is there a? I mean, I would say there is an attacker and a defender here. The person attacking and the person calling for a ceasefire. But I will also accept that maybe I'm not the defender.
Should this devolve to a tiebreaker roll?
We could roll again if we want to.
Well, I think
if you don't
I
think
would
there is an attacker and a
Will
defender.
versus Will, probably.
Okay.
I feel like
Let's do it.
versus this, I'm just going to steal from Mouse Guard. This is just a tiebreaker roll, unless someone has a call on trait to break the tie in your favor.
I don't. All right, let's do it.
I mean, would any of my noble traits at all help me here?
If it's not a call on, it's not a call.
Not a call on. All right.
Swing. There's a
All right.
bunch of 6s in there. Let's fake that.
So you're
I have a fate, but that's all I'm gonna
wow, dude.
get out of that.
What is
Well-
7 versus 5 in terms of difficulty?
Routine.
All right. Well, I'm just
Yeah.
rolling against 1, I guess.
But
so-
ultimately, that test makes breaks the perception in your favor with an additional success.
Sweet. Take it.
So
Did I get a challenging or difficult?
It's
You're
against the
rolling-
4 successes.
You're rolling with 5 dice versus
Definitely,
4
yeah,
successes.
but definitely mark your that you tested your will as well for the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's
you get a
probably the
will
easiest way
advance.
to resolve it. Yep. Okay. So
Alright.
Mason commands the guards.
Yeah. Like, yeah, so that's what I'm doing, right? Like, calm down, everyone. Don't make a ruckus. Don't wake her up. We'll sort this out. Everyone will be okay. And meanwhile, Swan is trying to kill him. Yeah,
Swan looks back at the guards and is just like, "You're going to be in a world of pain for your treachery."
These guards are just like, man, that guy does not know how to swing a sword at all.
Why is he not hitting? What's going on? He's
Yeah.
just like, are you practicing?
It's like coming down, and it's like you're like literally hitting like a force field.
Yeah, I know.
If anyone has played Metal Gear Solid: Sons of Liberty, is like when they're shooting at the lady in the unitard, right? They're like, oh, the bullets just like bend around her. Okay, what's
Fortune
this?
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "It was just a trick. It was the electromagnetic belt." And then it happens after he takes the belt off her, and he's like, "What? What's happening?"
So good. All right.
That
So what's
whole
the
Metal Gear
situation
Solid
from here?
series.
Now it's like Bobo and Swan.
Yeah.
Now what?
Well, I wish.
I'm just still swinging at Boba, and I'm like, the longer this goes on, foul sorcerer, the more likely it is that someone will arrive on my side. You have no allies here. Surrender now or be vanquished.
Yeah. So what does a spirit do?
Well, let me tell you, EricVulgaris, what a spirit does.
Yeah.
Let me just get some light on so I can read this book.
Is that in the codex?
It is.
That's when Count
will
Swan
find-
falls over dead, because the spirit just like swipes his soul out.
Well, the problem here is not that there is a spirit, right? Because it's like a quote-unquote peaceful spirit. The problem is it's the spirit of a guy you murdered, which might put a different spin on that issue.
I mean, I don't know how you're going to talk about the Raven and peaceful in the same sentence, but cool job, bro.
I mean, like it's a matter
Sanctified
of like,
dead doesn't mean not murderous.
Yeah.
no, maybe not, but
No,
there's
he would
a
want-
chance that he would shed his earthly needs.
The
and be
Raven.
like, no.
No, I think the Raven would want everyone to kill each other.
Yay. Okay. So in the when at the end of the summoning part of the codex, I will find the page number for you entirely. You will find 337, page 337.
Yeah, rest in peace is the die trait.
Yeah, you will find that. Spirits who have gone peacefully to death, and whose bodies were properly sanctified, have a great difficulty returning and communicating with the world of the living. They cannot use any physical ability or skill to affect the material world. Those abilities are lost to them. Also, while they will do anything that is within their power to aid the living, they are reluctant to undertake any act that will disturb their peaceful rest or get them kicked out of heaven. When bargaining with a summoner, the spirit of the sanctified dead may add 2 to social dice rolls.
Oh.
So this
Okay.
guy doesn't want to do anything to get kicked out of eternal
The void.
apocalypse hell.
Yeah, unless the fiction is different. But like this is what the rest in peace trait does, right? This is you died, you were judged on the scale of Erasmo or whatever, and now like worldly stuff seems unimportant because
Oh,
you've
okay.
moved past it.
Then yeah, so he seems unimportant by it. So then I guess he doesn't do anything because what does he care about the world then?
Okay, well that went good.
Yeah. Well, that's quite the boon.
So how about me threatening Boba and trying to get him to stand down?
Sure. Threaten him.
I mean, that was my threat. Was Boba? As I said, the longer this goes on,
His name's
the
Bobo.
more reinforcements that arrive for me. You have no friends here. You have no allies.
You're not helping.
Listen, it's getting very dangerous in here, okay? There's a lot of people with swords. It's going to turn against you sooner or later.
Ronald. I want
He
to
does.
like. Okay, cool.
He does the calculus. And let me see what's the obstacle for flying out the window.
That is up 4, I think.
Jesus Christ, why is this sorcery? How is sorcery so hard?
Sorcery is hella hard and hella dangerous.
All
That's
right,
why
now-
sorcerers
now
don't
he
do a lot of
summons-
it.
Now that the chosen one of Rovagug is here in spirit form, now he fucking fails sorcery again and summons Rovagug into the room.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
he's
The
going
end
to
times begin, and the chosen one has to stop it.
yeah. He goes into his pocket and crushes a bug in his hand.
Oh shit! All right.
Proceeds to be like, very well. I know when I'm outmatched. And try to get out of here.
All right, now that provokes an
Passes out
AOO,
the-
right?
Nope.
And then passes out on the
Oh,
floor.
thank God.
There it is.
Okay.
Tax. Tax.
That's true.
Yep.
There should be. He
3
needs to do
dice.
his taxes.
I just so badly want this guy to just tax himself to 0 and faint.
And how do I... Okay, that's a fort test against what's the obstacle?
The spell.
4.
And his fort's down by 1, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So
There
he
it
just
goes.
passes out. Okay.
All right, as soon as he passes
I fucking
out,
hate-
I just
I hate
stab him in
dice.
the neck over and over again. Just
Yep.
chop his fucking head off right here.
All right. So you kill him.
Yeah.
All right.
And with a bloody tip sword in hand, I turn to the guards and I'm like, now it's time for you to do your actual job, which is to protect the royal family. You go find Prophet Aurelius. You talk to no one else and you come back here and you go get the king and tell him he is needed with his sister. And you stop and talk to no one. If anyone finds out about any of this, you will both be executed because I am tired of this court leaking information. Go now.
All right. Is anyone going to oppose Swan right now?
No, the only thing Mason is doing is that when he initially begins, I put a hand on his shoulder and I'm like, quiet.
All right. So
And
they
then
do
I
it.
assume
Talk
this
slightly
continues.
louder as a result.
All right. So they do it. And so it
So-
makes it. So Aurelius shows up.
Yeah, I am at this moment. I am looking over the body of Boba and basically like one lamenting his death, but you know it had to happen. And 2, I'm trying to like look for anything helpful at all. If
While
he
you're
has-
doing that, Swan turns and is like,
How?
see if he's got notes or anything. Maybe he has a confessional somewhere, a sorceress logbook, a diary, a journal.
Well, what I would like to do is I would like to start learning scavenging and see if I can get anything useful off him.
Well, you could
Sure.
probably find a dead bug in his hand.
Sure. Consequences, the failure.
Yeah, if there are any, you could also run as a graduate test.
No, there's...
Cool. What's the consequence?
Cursed
So,
item.
what are you trying... Yeah, what are you trying to find? What's your intention?
My intent is to look his body over for valuables.
Sure.
I'm
Then that's-
looting the corpse of our slain enemy. I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I
then
took
that
my
doesn't...
AOO.
Scavenger.
That doesn't require a roll, then.
Oh,
On him, there
I would
is...
I would like one. Can I get one? May I have one?
Oh, you've got
No,
the,
he's dead.
He's got
He's not. He can't actively hide anything from you.
he's got
mean-
the ring, right? That attaches to people's bodies so that he can undead summon them or whatever, right? Am I
That
crazy
happened.
in thinking
No.
that was a thing?
No, that was a gallbladder thing.
Hmm.
All right.
Um,
I'm okay with that. So, when would one earn a test for scavenging?
If you name a thing that you're trying to find, if you're like, I'm in a wizard tower, I'm going to find a magic book.
That's a good
That's
call.
a scavenging test.
Yeah,
Yep.
it could also be run as a graduate test, but I will take no test. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
All right.
no.
So looking him over, I'm like, nah, there's nothing really valuable or interesting on his person.
No, there's nothing
um,
valuable or interesting on his person.
Oh, actually, hold on. Valuable items is a test, but if they don't exist, they don't
It
exist.
doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything on him.
Then there's no call to roll.
I mean, I guess there's like arcane, like generic arcane regents and stuff in his pockets, like more bugs.
generic arcane is not like that. That is
You know,
Bat
just
guano,
five
bat
mana-
guano, cricket powder. You know,
the generic arcana is an oxymoron.
crushed powdered bull testicle.
rune
Tongue
carved
of
snail
everything.
shells. You know, the normal to
Yeah,
you
I
is
will-
routine.
Normal stuff.
I will absolutely pilfer that off him and look to any of it and be like, is any of this involved in...
No.
Do you use crushed bull testicles when summoning? I forget.
No.
Mason, I'm actually surprised that you aren't admonishing me.
What? No,
Normally,
it's-
you're all like, "Don't kill people. Stop doing that."
I think that moment is the moment when Aurelius arrives with the rat and guard in tow and like sees the dead body and is just like, oh my.
So
Immediate question: can Swan see the rat, or does the rat disappear as soon as you're around the corner? Because previously the rat has avoided Swan at all costs.
Yeah, is the rat even here?
Swish.
Well, I was-
Snakemeat let him here, right?
that was
Oh, yeah,
the
he let him
initial
hear.
thing. I'm assuming I ran into the guard like as I was.
Well, if you're not... So, if there's no other circumstances otherwise, yeah, the rat would have pieced out.
All right.
All right.
Unless you're doing
So-
something to resist that. The rat's gone by the time you get to the room. It just slipped out of your hands, out of your pocket, something you just weren't noticing when you turned the door. He gets out. Just
Who is this dead man?
So
Boba.
what did you ask me again? Oh, yes, that's something about
I asked why
admonishing.
you weren't admonishing me.
So
You're
I
definitely against me doing anything.
I look to you and I say, I don't support killing of people typically, especially not useful people. But he was casting, and I'm not sure what. You'd probably save our lives in some respects, or maybe not. The point is, we have bigger worries.
Fantastic. Aurelius, come here. Your cousin, the Queen Regent.
Please be quiet.
The Queen Regent is currently infested by a demon, and we need you to exorcise it.
It seems as though the situation has escalated rather quickly.
I'm going to turn to the guard that brought Aurelius and say, go outside, find the Chilaxian ambassador, place him in a nearby conference room, and then wait there. Let no one inside.
What we should talk about right now, as the guard leaves the room, hopefully, is I look to you and I'm like, there's a problem here. Natala brought this guy on her own. There will be evidence that that is the case. Don't make any sudden movements. Don't rock the boat. You should focus on getting her free from this thing. And maybe, just maybe, if your love is pure, you can be of some help to do that.
You're way ahead of me, for once, Mason. All I'm looking to do is return the body to the country it belongs to.
I believe getting rid of this creature may be something that I have the ability to do.
Oh, thank the gods.
However, the ritual required is ancient and lengthy, and any help I could get in time that I could have would be critical. Is this a time-sensitive matter, Mason? Does this need to happen now?
If she wakes up, there is a chance that the creature could manifest its will through her. At that point, it's anyone's game. This could be relatively benign and a thing of Natala's own choice, but she would still be possessed. Or this could be the machinations of Boba. In which case, hell itself may lurk behind her eyes as we speak.
Sulius, I don't just have faith in your ability to drive this creature out, but that Abadar will lend us the aid that we need. I will pray with you, and we will make this happen. It's destiny that we are all here this day to solve a problem that only the three of us could do.
Ronald, do you carry anything on you made of silver?
Maybe?
probably.
I mean, I feel
What do you
like
think?
I probably have a lot of
So-
jewelry, but I don't know that I have anything specifically silver.
Eric, if you don't mind, do you mind if I have Swan make a roll for this? Because this would directly be me going against one of my instincts, which is to always take the time needed to pray and commune. So, like, Sulius's instincts are telling him to, like, do the ritual, do it the right way, and like
not just try it like guerrilla
right,
style.
Right, like this belief was like, or this instinct came about as a result of like when he just like up and tried to heal that child and fucked up. And so he like wants to do it the right way, but I could be persuaded.
Sure.
I will help you do this.
Something.
The consequence of failure of this is that the obstacle to remove the possession will be more difficult.
But on the other hand, you'll actually be waiting to pray it out.
Correct.
What's your will?
4.
Okay. Did I say anything I could fork?
I mean, you could say more stuff. I kind of like threw that. I just like noticed that it was an instinct. So I just wanted to like look at the character sheet and see what I should do. So. I'm no longer a lord, unfortunately.
I know, but I feel like I can probably fork etiquette here.
Your intention here is to get him to do something immediately, right?
Yep.
All right. I will actually give you a helping die here if you will take it. I will throw persuasion behind you. Because I failed my demonology roll, I don't know that this isn't the kind of thing that has a clock that's ticking down from 5 right now. Mm-hmm. So
I don't know that I can fork anything else.
So if you will accept the help, you can have it.
I will accept the help because I'm probably going to need the help. So that's 2 helping die versus op 4. That's not so great. And there's no 6s there at all. That's a terrible
Wow,
roll.
that's a horrible, horrible roll, my dude.
Rolling like garbage all day long.
Mm-hmm. What about... are you making this as a standard or a versus test?
I think it was just against his will, right?
All right.
It's up to Eric.
To be against his will.
Yep. Cool.
I look into the prophet's eyes, and I say, I see that
you look into your own eyes.
Oh, I'm sorry, the chosen one's eyes, and I say, I see your belief is strong, your radiance. Abadar is a god of laws and traditions. We must do this the right way if it is to be done. We must perform the ritual.
He speaks wisdom.
Very well. Gather your sacred unguents.
There is...
Aurelius.
Yes.
Will you tell whatever you need and whoever you need, will you tell them to come to my tower? Upon the 4th floor of that tower, I have a circle made of powdered silver. I could probably repurpose it for this purpose.
Yes. If we can relocate Natala there, that would be sufficient. There's only one person that I can think of in the church who would have any sort of experience with this. The only other person still alive that has manifested anything like the power that our Lord channels through me. Perhaps...
Who is this? I have never heard of this person.
This is a circles roll, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I would like to name someone here.
I have never heard of such a person. He must exist in the circles of history.
Are you all right with me circling this person into existence, Eric?
What type of person is it?
So I would like to circles up the person that Aurelius or Demetrius at the time was essentially given to when he first started, having these visions and manifesting these powers. And I'm thinking this is like, I was thinking some sort of exorcist, because that was one of the life paths I was really thinking about taking as a priest and ended up not taking. And I'm thinking that this person would be like incredibly old and probably not very strong in faith. Like, I know we've talked about how like Aurelius is the first person in a long time to like have anything more than like passing power. It's possible that this guy maybe like at one point could do miracles and no longer can. But the real thing that I'm looking for is I want his knowledge as an exorcist, knowledge of the rituals at play here.
Boy, okay, that's really obscure.
Super obscure.
Sure. But the consequence of failure, I would presume, is that it's too late. Either they're dead or just not available.
Sure.
or dying.
The guy being on his deathbed when I arrive is actually a pretty great consequence.
Yeah, that would be pretty rad. I'm cool with that. Cool. So
He's
let's
like, I need you to shepherd my spirit into the next life. I'm not concerned about this woman.
Yeah.
sure. Let's find the exorcist.
And like also
So,
like who
that's
knows,
what-
this guy might not even believe I'm actually a prophet. Like he might just be like think I'm a charlatan.
He's not in. So he's not in your circle, or he's not in your life paths, right?
He would probably have at least one of the priest or religious acolyte life path. Like he would probably either.
Oh,
have
that's
religious
true. He would
acolyte
be.
or
He would have been within. Yeah, he's within the sphere.
church.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
But he's very specific in.
Yeah. it's
So
probably
same life
very
path.
rare guy.
This would be a. I imagine a higher rank in station or class because it's specific, and specific disposition and detailed knowledge. No, maybe not station, just specific detailed knowledge. So it's +3. So we're looking at 4, and right here, right now, in the middle of trouble. So you're looking at 1-7. Again, 7.
Oh,
I believe you can do this.
all right.
Right? Is that
yeah.
not? Is that right?
No,
right.
that's
You
a
need
good
you need
calculation.
you need the specific person right here, right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, all of those sound very reasonable. And
Your
the
affiliations and things
official-
might matter, but
but before I start adding up dice, is the official consequence here going to be that he's like on his deathbed when I
Yes.
arrive or something? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Remember that in terms of circles, Eric is not. It's not put on Eric to tell you what the consequence is before you roll.
Oh, really? I actually didn't know that.
oh, cool.
Thank you. Cool. So I have a 3D affiliation with the Church of Abadar, and I also have a 3D reputation as the Prophet of Abadar. So I hope
Both of those work.
out. Okay, excellent. I don't think anyone can help me here, so I think we just got to roll some dice. All right, so +6 and no Artha, base of 7.
That's so
wait,
close.
Good
What
fate.
just happened?
The 6 is
Oh,
there.
there it is. Okay, so
We
fate.
believe. Oh, so close.
Not enough.
Nope. Enmity clause
All right.
or whatever. Here we go.
Yeah, so let's give this guy a name. Something exorcist something.
Jonah the Dying. Because
No, he
he's
doesn't call him
literally dying.
he doesn't call him the Exorcist. No, he just gotta have. He just has a. I think it just has a regular name. Something like or maybe like instead of the, it's like the Channeler or something like that.
Vladimir.
Would be his
Channeler
title.
Vladimir.
Yeah, Vladimir. Channeler Vladimir.
Cool. Oh, also my circles advances. Yay.
Cool. So, Vladimir Channeler is dying, and I think when you come in, he groans and says, "Oh, the last person I want to see before I pass on from this life. The Forsaker of the Sertovan name."
Is he like in?
Yeah, he's bedridden. Yeah, he's dying. He's old.
Yeah, so I approach him and I kneel before him and I probably I'm treating him like the way that I would have treated him when I was his student.
He's
So
he's
I
too weak to kick you out. But
yeah. Oh yeah. I
oops.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I kneel to kiss his ring and I say, Channeler, I have need of you. The Lord has need of you.
It best be easy and quick, for I am not long for this world.
Perhaps it can be, but perhaps not. A demon has taken the queen, Natala. He lives inside her.
You're insane. You've given up your house, now you speak these ramblings to a man who's dying.
So I'm going to look him in deep in his eyes as they're sort of fading, and I'm going to say, Channeler, I know that you have never seen such a creature in all of your time. I know that it may feel that the Lord has forsaken you and left you last of a dying order. But I tell you now, I speak truth, and we have need of you. We need your knowledge of these rituals.
Is this ugly truth? What do you think this is?
Persuasion.
What are you gunning for? Persuasion?
Persuasion, I was hoping for. Like, basically the angle
No.
I'm like...
This has nothing to do with his soul.
Okay, I was trying to push like the Redeemer aspect if he like could no longer do miracles. I mean, yeah, ugly truth
No,
seems appropriate then.
No, it's it's probably persuasion. Could
what's
it
the quid
be
I would think,
rhetoric?
yeah, I would think either rhetoric or ugly truth because there's no like direct quid pro quo other than like.
Persuasion can also be the kid in the schoolyard putting his arm around your shoulder and being like, "Come on, you don't have to inhale. Come on." And that's also persuasion.
I mean, it's your call. I'll just yeah. And to make the basically to make this more clear, like I want him to use like the last moments of his life to teach me this ritual instead of the
last moments of his life berating you.
Correct.
Yeah, that sounds probably like persuasion. You're pleading for him to do this.
All right. Do I have persuasion open? I don't believe I do.
He has a will. He has a will of 5. I don't feel like you get to be an old ass exorcist without having a pretty strong will.
Reasonable. So this is a will.
There's a lot of dead lower willed exorcists, is what I'm saying.
Probably. The older you get, the lower your will pool gets.
So
because,
I gotta lobby for some dice here.
It's not his brain that's failing him; it's his body.
True.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely some people who are like, sharp back when they're old. But is there any way I can get like a bonus die for being like basically like I have the full power of the church behind me? Like him refuting me right now is refuting the whole church.
You're asking if you can take advantage for your affiliation?
Yeah.
I feel like this guy, no, in particular. Because I feel like this guy operates on the, not necessarily the black ops of the church, but understands the hierarchy, and that means nothing to him.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't fear
if you're
that
an
much for his
if
soul
you're an
after,
exorcist,
like, a life of service.
it's like he's jaded. Like I feel like this isn't something that can come into. You can't like pull rank, and he's not worried about his status. He's seen the existential life and death of people's souls at stake. Those aren't stakes that matter to him.
So I'm just lobbying really hard for one more die here because I need to get this 5 will. So is there any way I can take my time in arguing with him here? And my caveat, like my devil's bargain here, is that in like taking so much time, like trying to argue with this guy and convince him, if I do persuade him, I get less out of him because there's just less time left.
No, because you also failed the circles roll. So I feel like he doesn't want you here, and you do not have that much time to play with.
Cool. Well, then
I feel like that's conditional on that. And he also hates you.
Roll
right
the
now.
marbles.
Yeah, let's just roll some dice. I really wanted.
Sorry.
Test.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
I believe in you.
You gotta.
Wow,
Yeah,
full
nothing.
Shit.
No, that's not good.
Yeah. So that then doubles.
Yeah. No. So he spends his last moments cursing you and telling you that how much of a fool you've been, how he regrets mentoring you.
What a wise fool.
And regrets giving up, how you give up the best thing in the world, a cushy Sertovan name, and you just threw your life away.
Oh man. Wow, I do not feel good walking away from this at
No,
all.
your mentor literally just hated just
Spat
shit
in
on
my
you.
eye.
He just spent his last moments shitting on you.
Oh god.
You had the nerve to show up here.
You live your entire life following the holy path, and then you commit sacrilege against your blood.
Yeah, so
I would love to talk to the king at some point.
yeah, we can jump over to someone else. But
Yeah, well, that's a pretty heavy moment, but we should go to a break.
All right.
Because it's past the hour. So we'll be back on the other side of the break, guys. See you then.